Jeopardy! And now, here is your host, Kevin J. Callis!
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Wacky Voiceover Guy. I'm thrilled to welcome you to another episode of the interactive pro wrestling game show where you're the contestant.
You and what little elf army is gonna stop us?
Best of luck to you all. Don't forget you can keep your score by downloading the official WrestleTrivia score sheet at WrestleTrivia.com. And now let's kick off the Jeopardy round with these categories. Starting with a little Christmas chaos, followed by some holiday hits. Our third category is Season's Beatings. Our fourth category, Elf on the Shelf Alternatives. And our fifth and final category is voted on by you, the WrestleTrivia community. The three choices at your disposal this week were ugly Christmas sweaters, the worst wrestling toys, and is that you, Santa Claus? And this was a runaway winner. Our fifth and final category will be the worst wrestling toys.
The Hulkamania workout set. You from LJN.
Are you in shape yet?
And that sound means it's time to begin the game with the 200-point job around, the easiest round in Wrestling Jeopardy. Let's begin with a little Christmas chaos, shall we? Worth 200 points. 9 dashing divas competed in a mistletoe and a pole match that was booked by this jolly hardcore legend during his holiday SmackDown special in 2011. I'm not sure I know anybody who loves Christmas as much as jolly old Saint Mick Foley does. Now let me give you a little example here of how this next category is going to work. These are all going to be visual clues, and the answers will be the names of slightly altered holiday musical favorites. So for example, instead of Jingle Bells, the answer here would be Jingle Bellas. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, let's go and find out the next clue. Name this holiday hit. I'll have a blue, meanie Christmas without you. Thank you very much. The third clue of the job around comes to us from Season's Beatings. This wrestling promotion has gotten into the spirit of the season since its inception in 2019 with holiday-themed television specials like Winter is Coming and Christmas Collision. And that would be, what is AEW All Elite Wrestling? I was having some fun this past week with the Photoshop, so this next category will once again be a visual category. Now, of course, you've heard of Elf on the Shelf. Name this Elf on the Shelf alternative. And the correct answer, what is Ray in a Sleigh? And let's close out the job around with this clue from Worst Wrestling Toys. The genius designers at Jakks Pacific created this horrendous line of action figures that you filled with water in order to make them perspire. Because what kid wouldn't want to play with a moist mankind versus a wet rock? What is maximum sweat?
Well, at least it's not raining.
Playtime's over!
Alright, that'll do it for the job around. Hopefully you answered at least 3 questions correctly. If you did, do me a favor, make sure you hit that thumbs up button because it really helps the channel grow and reach new people. We begin the 400-point round now with another clue. The 2001 Christmas Eve episode of Raw featured a Battle of the Santas as Tajiri donned the red suit for the good guys, while this former ECW superstar represented Santa for the heel side of the locker room. On a night full of gimmick bouts and over-the-top festivities, Tajiri Claus netted an upset victory over Bubba Claus. Alright, here comes the second clue of the 400-point round. Name this holiday hit. And that would be Baby It's Stone Cold Outside. We're on to some more Season's Beatings now, worth 400 points. It wouldn't be the holiday season without some superstar getting whacked on the back with this festive red striped weapon during the WWE's annual Miracle on 34th Street fight. What is a candy cane kendo stick? And here comes the fourth clue of the 400-point round. Name this Elf on the Shelf alternative. Isn't he so cute? That would be Mox in a box. And let's finish up the 400-point round with this clue from Worst Wrestling Toys. Only Hulk Hogan, Vader, and this WCW Triple Crown champion can lay claim to being one of the 3 superstars to have their very own WCW hero head. Now, I was never on the receiving end of one of these ginormous boppers, but I have to imagine they had to have caused multiple concussions. However, the correct answer is the man called Sting.
I wasn't complaining when it was gone.
All right, 10 questions down, 15 to go, plus the daily double, a bonus question, and Final Jeopardy.
I don't want that, and I don't want that.
Well, this is my gift to you, and you know.
We begin the 600-point round with this clue from Christmas Chaos. Before landing the role of Kane, Glenn Jacobs suffered through a string of bad gimmicks, starting in 1992 as this festive yet fearsome Christmas-themed monster. A wonderful piece of wrestle crap courtesy of the USWA out of Memphis, Tennessee. What is the Christmas creature?
Chestnuts roasting.
It's time to test your musical knowledge once again with the second clue of the 600-point round. Name this holiday hit. And that would be Oh Holy LA Night. Yeah, and we're back with some more Seasons Beatings. We're 600 points. This 2006 pay-per-view may have received the lowest buy rate in WWE history, but its promotional poster featuring the Sandman, parodying the movie Silent Night, Deadly Night, was extremely well done. What is December to dismember? Alright, here comes a holiday bonus question. How this works, you don't have to wager any money here. Basically, if you answer this question correctly, you'll double your score. During the December to Dismember pay-per-view, Sabu was injured backstage and deemed unable to compete in the main event Extreme Elimination Chamber for the ECW World title. Who replaced him? Now remember, this is the holiday edition of Wrestling Jeopardy, so the answer here has to have some sort of Christmas connotation to it. Who is Hardcore Holly? And we're on to the fourth clue of the 600-point round now. Name this Elf on the Shelf alternative. I'm not quite sure how she's able to breathe there, but the answer, what is EO on a torpedo? Here comes the last clue of the 600-point round now from Worst Wrestling Toys. Trying to create their own version of WWE's iconic wrestling buddies, WCW entered the plush toy market by introducing these ugly knockoffs. I'm sure Matt Cardona has like 85 of these. What are Bashin' Brawlers?
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
And we're jumping back across the board now to begin the 800-point round with more Christmas chaos. Portrayed by the late Balls Mahoney, Santa Claus, an evil, bizarro version of Father Christmas, wrestled only one televised match for WWE, defeating this jobber turned Attitude Era superstar. Who is Scott Taylor, aka Scotty Too Hottie? And here comes the second clue of the 800-point round now from Holiday Hits. By the way, before I get to this clue, happy holidays to you and your families. Thanks once again, as always, for watching Wrestling Jeopardy. The category for this daily double is Holiday Hits. Place your wager now. All right, time is up. Here comes this episode's Daily Double Clue. Name this holiday hit. And that would be Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, aka the Rock and Roll Express, so the answer would be Rockin' and Rollin' Around the Christmas Tree. Sticking with the NWA, here comes the 800-point clue from Season's Beatings. This was the first televised wrestling event following the sale of Jim Crockett Promotions to Turner Broadcasting. With the actual subtitle of Season's Beatings, what is Clash of the Champions for? All right, we have 2 clues left before we get to the 1,000-point main event round. Name this Elf on the Shelf alternative. Yes, that would be Tama on a Llama. And let's close out the 800-point round now with this clue from Worst Wrestling Toys. The WWE brought the action from the ring to the streets with the launch of this mini wrestling figure / race car toy line in 2016 that included Brock Lesnar's Beast Bike and John Cena's Cena-nator. And they were called Nitro Machines. You know, it wouldn't be the holiday season if these questions weren't any harder than they are. Which means we've reached the main event now. 5 1,000-point questions guaranteed to put your wrestling knowledge to the test. And we begin with the final clue from Christmas Chaos, worth 1,000 points. In a WWE Fact or Cap video on Instagram, this wrestler revealed that it was actually his older brother, Jeremiah, who took part in a Monday Night Raw segment with Santa Claus and Stone Cold Steve Austin in December 1997.
You kicked the kid out of the ring. You shouldn't have done it.
By the way, Oos may or may not have been sipping back on some of the holiday eggnog at John Cena's final match on Saturday night's main event. Who is Jey Uso? And let's finish up this musical visual category here. Name this holiday hit. He does not look very happy. That is Ivan Koloff, whose nickname was the Russian Bear. And this holiday hit is courtesy of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. What is a Mad Russian Bear's Christmas? Here comes the final clue from Season's Beatings now, worth 1,000 points. During an impromptu match at 2004's Armageddon pay-per-view, Kurt Angle tapped out this former WWE Tag Team Champion who was disguised as Santa Claus. According to an old Reddit thread and a quick photo comparison, it was none other than Cliff Domino Compton. And 2 clues remain before we reach Final Jeopardy. Here comes the final visual clue. Name this Elf on the Shelf alternative. A super duper deep cut from late WCW days. That is Lash LaRue. And the correct answer, what is Lash on the Dash? And let's close out the board now with the final clue. In 1991, and in cooperation with the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission, LJN recalled this WWE wrestling toy after reports of multiple children suffering severe internal injuries. The correct answer, what is a wrestling ring, and more specifically, the Sling 'em, Fling 'em, and possibly Impale 'em wrestling ring. All right, 26 clues are down and only one separates you from becoming the ultimate WrestleTrivia champion. Let's find out what this episode's final Jeopardy category is. You just made the naughty list. All right, time is up. Here's the final Jeopardy clue. 'Twas the night before a photo shoot that this superstar shaved off one of X-Pac's eyebrows. Was it A, Brian Knobbs, B, the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith, C, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, or D, Owen Hart? You have 15 seconds. Good luck. Partying a little too hard on his 21st birthday, when X-Pac woke up and realized he had one less eyebrow, he thought the best course of action was to shave off the other one too. And this, boys and girls, is how he looked on his first action figure, thanks to one of the greatest pranksters pro wrestling has ever known. The correct answer is C, Mr. Perfect. And that does it for another episode of Wrestling Jeopardy! Thanks again so much for watching. Happy holidays! My name's Kevin J. Callis, and I will see you next time.